Good morning, this is Bondi Anonymous, and we're in the middle of our little project here. And let me see. I'm going to be putting some bird feed out after a while. Right now, I need this. I need something with some water and a brush. Show you why in a minute. So what do we have for brushes out there? I used to have some. Well, let me just look. And this brush will work, actually, probably pretty well. It's small. I used to have a toothbrush out here, of course, and there it is. Okay, this is really what I want right here. And this, my vape, hangs on this lanyard, and it's always catching on stuff, unfortunately. Okay, so what I'm doing here right now is checking to see if my theory about these is true. Okay, I made these yesterday. Okay, and what it is kind of it's Portland cement with rocks in it, red rocks and black and gray rocks. And what I hope is going to happen here, let's just try a few spots. And I'm going to, all right. So you can see, maybe here in this, right there, you can see the stones, okay? So it appears that it will work, but let me just fool with it a little here. I think I might need a little heavier a brush than that, so let's try this one. This is my brush for maybe my fingers will work just as well. I like the smoothing effect that fingers have on this concrete, and I don't know, maybe I waited too long. I don't really feel the stones in there. Let's see if I can get to some. Yeah, it appears there's some in there, but it's going to take a little work to get to them. And probably in the process I'll end up breaking some. Now on the bottom, of course, we'll see the rocks everywhere. I mean, that's beautiful. But that's not where I want them. Okay. So we're just going to work on this until we give up or we find some stones in here. What it's supposed to look like is, you know, what it's supposed to look like is so let me work on it a little bit with some of this. See if I can't get down to some stones. Can you tell I never did this before? Now this might be one of those videos that's lost to posterity. I don't see any rocks showing up here. Maybe I do, just a few. I really have to bear down to get through it. I didn't think it would be this difficult to get the concrete off. I think I probably just waited a little too long. A wire brush, of course, would do it just better. I have wire brushes, just like I have a lot of things. They're just not here right now. Okay, I see a little bit of this coming through. Where I want to see it is on the top here. down in here. Okay. So a lot of this can go. Concrete is slightly more solid than I thought it was. I thought that concrete of that width would be absolutely fragile. Of course, I can break it. I can, but it's not like tissue paper or anything. Looks like this is working a little bit. I'm getting through, and like there, for example, that's how I want it to look, like that. I just have to get down past the top concrete to get to it, and this top is really going to take a lot. Yeah, a little bit showing through. Maybe it won't break quite as fast. Let me soak these others while I'm thinking about it, because I'm going to be in them too. Okay, that's all of them. So what I'm seeing is that in theory, this works. In theory, right? Because I am getting down to the red and box. Probably could have sprayed it. Except, you know, the problem is it was in the mold, so there's no spraying to get it out to do all that. Okay, so now I'm seeing some evidence of it. Coming through a little bit, and I have to do it hard enough to get through the concrete, but not so hard that it washes the stones out. So if I do it this way, the striations will go lengthwise on the wall, like they might. Okay, so right in the middle I got a nice spot there to work out from it. This is lava rock and red red lava rock and gray granite chips in the midst of this pretty much 100% Portland cement. Now I'm starting to wish I had my Dremel out here, but I don't know if the Dremel would work good on this. It's just wet now. I don't know how Dremels do in that situation. But you can see I'm getting through. I think I'll just keep doing it this way, because I am getting progress. Closer to the top. Okay, so it appears that it will work. I can manage to do it without breaking it. And also avoid spraying too much of it into my face. There's another piece broken off. So obviously it's easily broken. It's okay. that is okay. Just have to hold it a little differently. And, you can see there's a little color coming through, and seeing this means that I know that I can do it again, and maybe better. Okay, so I think that's kind of how I like this, with these little striations, I guess, in it. And this top part has to be. Okay, let's just do this a little. This a little. Okay, so that to me, that looks pretty interesting, and maybe it'll be even better when it dries. And it sits up on its little thing like that. Okay, so here, let's just to compare what they look like before and after. Okay, and so I'll just go ahead and do the rest of these. Now that I know the best way to do it is this way. Some cracks at the top of the wall are all fine. That's where the stones have come out. And it's like they would, you know, in a real wall. Okay, you can see a little bit there. Keep going. I can feel it cracking in my fingers here too as I go. So it's really not solid yet. Okay. Up on top, we'll do more. So I can put, in the future, I can do a couple things. I can put different colors of gravel in here, and I can also color the concrete, which may be a way to bring out the stones a little more. If there's concrete is white, for example, or I've got other colors up there. And I'm going to keep doing this. Those rocks. This top is where I really want them to be. Okay. My fingers can do any of this. I think it's kind of, it appears like kind of very weak sandstone that you could really crumble in your hands. So we're going to keep on all this here. Put more of this off. What I'm trying to do here, once again, is make the impression of a wall, a rock wall. That's going to be used in this pot, this big pot, to hold the plants in. Okay? And, every time I see a spot where there are stones showing through, I just go back and give it some more. There we see the little lines going back and forth, which I like. And every time I do this and I see the storms, I know that when I rinse it off, I'll see the storms. So mainly up here is where we need it. I don't even know how these will fit together or if they will. I'm just kind of mindlessly doing this work to clean them off a little bit. And up on the top is where we want to see the stones. There you go, and take some of this off. So what I think will happen is that over time, maybe it'll get even more weathered looking. And I'm going to take these other little extra pieces here. Now that I just decided they're going to be places where the wall broke, and I might be able to even fit them in. Just some of that. And put a crack in the wall, which will hopefully the roots will exploit. Oh, we're getting down to some sort of. Must be thick at the bottom. These broken off. Little pieces like that I'm not going to worry about. Okay, so that shows a little bit of the stone. That's what that is. Basically 2 more, I think. And so I can feel all the dust in the bottom of the thing that I've gotten out. And they're broken into pieces. Let's see if I can not break this one. I went through different thoughts about how to make these retaining walls. Is what I'm thinking they're going to be like. They're retaining dirt. And, you know, they may be a little too tall. It's possible. But they may have to be tall. It depends on what kind of plants I put in here. Right now I'm tending toward orange jasmine. I found I only need 3, and I need I found some in a pot over here that had been growing for a while, and it seems that I can have some luck with orange jasmine, getting them out of the ground and putting them in pots. So there's going to be 2 of them. Don't know how much of this you can see, but there'll be 2. There's going to be 1, 2, and 1 on this side, orange jasmine. And they're going to be probably 1 foot tall above the ground. And if some others that I have over here that are not dying, that's my main qualifier for bonsai plants. Are they dead? No. Well, then I still have a chance. It a little bit. So if this would have been, let's see what kind of, I think gray is probably okay, because it's going to end up being this lighter gray when it dries. That's okay, I think. And we can definitely see the rocks. And I'm glad I picked white and, I'm glad I picked black and gray for this. I don't remember what black ones they would have been. I do not remember. only it's yesterday, you know, that's days ago. I don't remember where I got the black rocks. I have memory loss, and it can get you down. Like right now, when I don't remember, these rocks came out of somewhere yesterday, black ones. I didn't, looking at them, didn't realize I had any black stones left to do this with. I don't know where I got them. This was yesterday. So with memory loss, bonsai is challenging because I really don't remember what I did the day before, and I'm too lazy to go back and get out the video that I made, which I presumably could do. Alright, so that's pretty good. Just want to be able to see, I mean, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the mold. And just to repeat what I did here, these are molds that I use to make pots out of, entire pots. You pour the concrete in and level it at the top, and then a couple days later it comes out. This is using the same pot for something different. This is using this pot to make places to hold the dirt in this planting, like that, for example. That's pretty, I like that. But I want them to look a little more rustic. First of all, they're kind of rustic because I made them from, they're broken pots that were made that way. These pieces were never part of a complete pot. And, so the fact that it broke doesn't bother me very much because it's supposed to be broken in the pot. It's going to take a while. It's a big one. Alright, so we'll just sit here and diddle. Give me some coffee. Once again, every so often I have to give a shout out to my sponsors. Or I would if I had any. I don't actually have any sponsors. But if there's any people out there that are in need of shout outs, please talk to me because I'm in need of giving some. But to give a shout out to someone, they have to be on they have to watch your videos or subscribe, or I don't know what actually. I don't know how you tell if someone did any of that. But when I find something that I like, that I use, quite often, I like to mention it because maybe someone else can use it, and if they know what it is, they have a better chance. And this is all predicated on the thought that perhaps someone actually watches these videos, and I don't know. I'm not getting a lot of views. I don't know if you can be an influencer with 3 views on a video. I don't know what I'm influencing. Maybe influencing people not to take a bonsai. That would be a service also. Fortunately, it's too late for me. I already took it up. And where did I? I went around the yard the other day because I was curious as to how many pots I have, and I kind of lost count around 108, and that's not total pots. That's the pots that I am responsible for. And by responsible for, I mean I either made it like this, or I took something else and turned it into a pot that wasn't a pot, and that happens with glass jars and so forth, and bowls. And you can't say you made a pot out of it because it's not a pot until you drill a hole and put drainage screen in. That's something I'm still learning about. I think I do it, and then I repot it, one of them, and I find out that it's just been sitting in water the whole time, and I didn't realize it because I don't understand how it works. I think that if you water a plant and the water goes right through to the bottom, it really doesn't really stop anywhere. That to me makes sense as a good watering technique. But it seems that sometimes when I do that, the water doesn't drain as it appears to be draining. So I open up some of these pots to repot, and I find just really basically mud in the bottom that's not doing anybody any good. That's a cool spider. I like spiders. That doesn't mean I have to like it when one lands on me. That I do the freak out just like everybody else. But in the yard, I love them. Granted, their webs catch some things that I'd rather they didn't catch, like occasional butterfly or moth, but I don't think the butterflies have learned about that one. Because every year we have spider webs, and then the next year we have more butterflies. So some sort of things going on there. This is taking a while, but I think that's okay. Basically, once again, what I'm doing is I'm using this brush to get off some of the concrete that's on this thing, so that you can see what's in the concrete. And what's in the concrete, which you can't see at all there because I haven't done anything. What's in the concrete is these stones that I put in. And what it's supposed to look like, and it actually isn't too bad, is a wall that is made out of stones and mortar. And the stones are showing through the mortar a little bit. Don't bring any music out here or anything like that. But if I could be quiet for a second, you'll hear what I hear out here when I'm quiet. And let's just do that because it's relaxing. First of all, we have this turtle pond going behind us. The turtles are, at least two of them, are probably sitting out in the sun. Sun's out, so they'll be sitting there getting warm. And then if you walk over there, if it's me that walks over there, there's a chance they'll recognize me and come and try to get something to eat, which is certainly a possibility. If they don't recognize you, they just sink down to the bottom and wait till the next time. Someone right there. So in the future, I could put different colors of gravel in here. I have a few different colors. Make the concrete a different color with the dye I have some of in there. Alright, so the pots that are made with these molds normally are very smooth and nice. If I can manage to not get them out of the mold too soon and they just crack into pieces. But if I wait, over the course of time, they get nicer and nicer and nicer. They actually get a little patina. I mean, it's hard to see on something like this because it's so rough, but even one like the one I'm doing right now, if I was to leave it out of the situation it's going to be in, let it just kind of decay a little bit, it will get patina on it. And it could be mold, it could be moss, it could be dirt, just about anything. And what it makes it not be is just this plain old concrete. And if I do this, little bits of it show through. And if it's like normal, I'll sooner or later wish that I'd done this more so that more of it shows through. Quite a bit of concrete down here in the bowl that I've gotten off of here. remember when I saw this technique first, but I've been using versions of it for a while. This is a version of it. This was made out of concrete and then sprayed a little. You can see it better here. Sprayed in water, and that means that when the concrete's not dry, the concrete itself tends to rinse away a little bit in the water, and then when it all dries, it looks very cool. So it's a way to make an interesting pot when you really don't know anything about doing pots. And that's how all mine are. I don't have a single one that's made from the standpoint of really knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so I didn't really end up using that one much. That's okay. This one I ended up using a lot. We'll put you there for right now. This is got a little bit of everything in it. Put you over there. Sooner or later, I'm going to feed the birds out here today. They need it. All right, but while I'm stopped, let me just move these out of the way a little bit. Okay. I noticed that down here I have one of these ugly ones, but I can't really lift this up anymore. So let me think about how I'm going to do this. And a little bit. So, could be that I can get away with that. And that goes on the bottom, it doesn't go there, unfortunately. But if I had one like that, I could do that. And now I'm just playing with this to see if there's any way I can make it be a little more decent. Okay. So this goes like that. Almost looks like it fits there. Okay. Don't really want you there. So we got to find something else to put there. And I feel that this will do it. And you, I have to figure out a way and that fits all right. be able to put a patch in here. Some lady did. There's quite a bit of this left in here. That probably can use for this. This piece is a good piece. Okay. Now, what's left? What's next? I think, just for a second. I'm going to just put you. This is part of the deal here, this fooling around that you do. Okay. Already, I know this one's going to be better than the one I had. And what I need to do with it is, though, I need to scrape off some of this. Well, it shouldn't be, I could probably just break it off here. Just rub it on so I want to be up slightly. So we'll put it here. I think that's almost how I want it. A little more over. Okay. Okay, just like that. And you can go here if you want. Pretty good. Okay. I like that. And that might do for one of the trees anyway. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to do the other one. This has to go there. Really nice. Okay, so let's look at this one. So I think I want you. Put you back in this one. rust. Get out my trusty glue here. And we're going to put you. Oh, I knew it. It's probably not that great to put this on kind of wettish concrete, but I'm not that how this one is. Like this. I'm going to put some on you. Here. Now, over here. Okay, so I do want him to be down. Okay. How am I going to make him stay there? Maybe I'll just do it over there. So hold it. Better. Let's get another piece. This is a perfect example of one of those cases where my tremor is really not helping. Okay. Let's see here. I think I will glue this together, at least right here. Putting some of this in it and letting it mark its way down that spot. At a certain point, this glue gets to be annoying, and really what it is the fact that I don't really know how to use it very well. It makes it annoying. Okay. All right, so what have we done today? We took out the pieces from the mold, and they are going to function very well in this pot as holders for my trees. There's going to be a one tree here, about that tall, and then there's going to be one in the back about like that, and one down here about like that. So I need two moderate ones and one bigger one to go in here, and that's what I'm going to dig up later today. The rest of these pieces And then we put over here, and, without hitting anything here, I hope. What I didn't do, that I thought I might, was cement this in a little bit better with some cement. And what I need to do that, let me show you what I need to do. Well, I can't do it because I don't have the concrete here, but I can show you. This is another kind of screen. It's a little, the holes are a little bigger than on that other stuff I have. And this, what happens with this, and I'm really not in a position to show you very well, but what happens with this is I bend it like that, it pieces out, and I put it in the pot like that. Another one here I wanted to use, so and there. And this stuff provides a spot for the concrete to attach to. Okay, and let's go a little more down here. And you can just keep messing with it till it's how you want it. Now, I didn't want to mess with it until I knocked this in. And that's probably going to have to be redone. Okay, I keep forgetting that this glue doesn't attach very well. It doesn't, what's the word? It has no holding power. Okay, so any of this bumping here I'm doing is going to unhold it. So I'm not going to do this right now until that's glued, but the deal is that this goes down in this, at the bottom of this angle here, and I can't really do it without messing all this up, but this goes down in here, some concrete is poured on it, and it's pushed down, and it works like rebar. And you might say I'm just doing the top of this, I'm not doing underneath. Well, that's true. It's because if this is solid right here, this is the direction it's going to fall. So I don't want to do it on the bottom here, the weaker part of the joint. I want to do it on this part so the concrete actually holds it. This actually held in quite well right now. I mean, I put some 6,000 on it yesterday and held it in place with my dragon stone. So it is set up. This one down here isn't setting up yet. And I think after it sets up, I'm going to have to screw with it a little more. But I want it to more or less be round. It's okay. All right, so I'm babbling. So what's the next step in this process? Well, letting it dry, and seeing how it looks, and then getting my 3 plants. I know where they are. They're back in a pot back there. And this is the other thing I did yesterday. I made these things out of the clay, the concrete with the stones in. I hope you can see that. I really like that effect. And the rest of the concrete, which is this much, I just put it on my board here and started to work with it. You can look in the video and see that and work it up. As it gets harder, it gradually sets up better. But what I need to do with it now is this. Go around and get rid of all this. In fact, I really want it to be a little more than that. I want to have a little lip on the bottom of this. So let's just bring this over here. This is promising to me. What I'm doing, this kind of pot, because this is a nice small one. I'll make a bigger one if I want. Probably not too much smaller than this, but it appears to me that this technique is going to work to small and maybe even medium-sized pots without anything, without any sand or mold, just your fingers. And of course, what's going to hold it back is getting it to stand up, the concrete, getting it to. And I haven't tried before to make one like this and then put some more on top, and that hasn't worked very well. I'm not sure why. I didn't do it long enough or many enough times to try to scope it out because it was frustrating. When you have memory loss, there are frustrations in life, and bonsai is no different. Right now, for example, I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, there's my little pot. You can see he has a little, it's not just flat where he sat on the board there anymore, so that's an improvement. This morning I also have to feed the wild birds. Dumped out 20 pounds of stuff here for them. And go dig up those orange jasmine. Although I may wait till tomorrow to do that. I want this to be in place a little better than it is. And I really don't know how I'm going to end up doing all this. I may end up having, what I may end up doing is when I make the concrete to do this, to repair that further, I might put a little bit on this too, just to, if it's holding its place by then. Because these don't have to be cemented to the pot. They just need to be able to be moved and not just fall apart when I do that. I'm looking down at my big cup that has my Kool-Aid in it, and I notice it's got splashes of concrete all over it. So I'll be a little stonier next time you see me, because I will have drank this soda. Okay, so I'm going to do something with this pot. This pot isn't dry yet. Okay? It's not dry. But we're going to try something here. I have different colors in here, but I just have gold. That's okay. Gold is gold. So how do I do this? What I'm going to do is, first of all, go around and smear all over this and see if I can't get some of the dust off. I don't think the dust will help this technique very much. All right, so that's a nice solid little piece of concrete. All I do is I just put a little bit of this gold in, and there's should be a little left. There's a little bit. Just put it on my hand like that, and just start to smear it around everything. And try to spread it out so it's not a real thick spot in any one spot. And I have different colors of this metallic paint, and I need to bring some other ones out here because I do like this. This is a nice, makes this plain little pot, stand out a little bit. Believe me, my work needs something to help it stand out. I have a friend who says, don't deprecate yourself. I have to now because since I've retired, I don't have people around me to do it. Okay, there's a little more. So I'm just going around this and putting some of this on here. And it doesn't have to be anything done any special way. This is supposed to look like it has some metal. There's some metal involved in this. And probably it would be a good idea to try some other things in the future. For instance, paint the thing first with some spray paint so that the little gaps in between the gold paint aren't concrete colored. You can make whatever color you want. I think copper would be good with copper. Dark blue would be nice with gold, dark blue. Green goes well with the copper color. Okay, so this is one of those things that the more you do it, the better it looks. kind of like making spaghetti. It's always better the next day when you get it out of the fridge. Because what's happening here? Well, I'm rubbing the gold around a little more, making it maybe a little more consistent. I'm also rubbing the concrete and making it smoother. As I say, it's not dry. So I think this is, it makes me want to think that this is kind of like what they did with al fresco painting, when they painted on the wet plaster. This is not wet plaster, and I'm not Michelangelo, but I think that this gold actually perhaps works its way into the concrete a little bit. I've done that on a few pots, and I've always said, why don't you do that more? Oh, so that's just about gone. I bought this for kintsugi. I'm interested in kintsugi, which is, if you don't know what about it, I recommend you check it out. Kinsegi. It's a Japanese art of repairing things that are broken. And in order for it to be repairable, I think you have to know where all the pieces are, and they fit together somewhat. I mean, this, I was thinking about all the cracks in this, putting gold in them, but I decided not to. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. It's kind of rough. It's like a ruin a little bit. And these are certainly part of. They're not part of a ruin, but they look like they could be. They have that stone in them. Okay, so visualizing this. I don't know how much video I have left. It's probably out already. I don't have my watch on today, so I can't tell. Visualizing this, I look back here, and I see a short orange jasmine tree about like that. Another one a little taller, and back here maybe a little taller one. 3 of them. And in this gap, which I will have to clean out, I'm going to put, I may not clean it out. I may put these on top of it. But in fact, I'm going to do that. Let's just fill that in. Because what I want ultimately to look like is a river. Not a lake, but a river coming through here. Okay? And I don't know what color I want it, so I'm gonna look at these. Put some in there just to see how. Yeah, lots of different colors. I'm gonna use the blue ones. This blue is water's blue. Right? Maybe a green one here and there. Mostly blue. It's like a fine mostly blue. The ones that aren't very much used elsewhere are the round ones, the regular marble ones. They are really not much use elsewhere. Because they roll. And I guess that's kind of a prerequisite for a marble, isn't it? Purple one. I'm sneaking all the blue ones out of here. I saw something 2 minutes ago that makes me happy. And I have to capitalize on every one of those that I can. I have a couple of buddies out here that I like a lot. That's a marble. That's one of the ones rolling, see? If I put this over here, I can break it. Okay, so there's a blue one. No blue ones. There are some blue ones over here, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to try to get a few more blue ones. There's some blue ones. So I need this to look like a river's coming through. And there's plenty more blue ones. Just going to keep going until I run out of blue ones. It wasn't a blue one. I'm glad that Dollar Store has these because buying them any other way is way too expensive for me. And they sell them at the dollar store for, well, you get quite a few for $1, the truth of it is. I'm just going to keep, now I'm going to put in clear ones on top of that. Not so much greenish one, clear. Okay. And then we may put green ones on top of that. Okay, so let's get some more clear ones. A few more. Could end up being a little bit like Venice with water in between these two things and no land, but that's all right. There'll be a little land there. Okay. And these four ones back there are good. Quite a bit of their use. I think I bought 5 pounds of marbles at one point. There was a time when I was making pots out of them. Some of them were all right. Some didn't turn out too well, and that broke. Let's get this over here a little more. One more clear ones back here, maybe. Some more blue as well. So what I'm really doing here is trying to clean off my desk a little bit. One of my desks. Alright. So this isn't hooked, these are not hooked together. Get them all out of there, all the blue ones. All the blue ones that are unattached. If I was clever, I could maybe figure out a way to tie this in a little bit better with the other spots in the yard where things similar. For instance, back in that corner of the yard, I have a Japanese garden, and I have to tell you that because it really doesn't look like much of one right now. Okay, so I don't know, I may have to mess with that a little more. But right now we're getting there. Okay, so around this, I'm going to put bonsai soil right down to it like a hill. And that will be in there too, and some back here. Okay. I think that's good enough right now. I'll be back later. Bonsai on us out.